Hello, boys, girls, and MBs. I can tell my camera's a little bit off. We're going to straighten it out. How's everyone doing this evening? Or morning, or afternoon, depending on where you are and where you're watching this. Thanks for being here. As you can see from the title, James Charles situation is quite insane. There's a lot going on there, a lot to unpack. We're going to get into that. But before we get into that, we got a couple of more topics to cover, okay? If you're new here, first off, this is an internet news and drama YouTube channel. Politics comes up here and there kind of thing, as some of you that are new here may notice. Also, but this is what we're talking about, not politics. We're going to get into, well, actually, funny enough, I saw Hassan in real life recently, so I'll talk about that a little bit. I also didn't quite get a chance to prepare my stream as much as I normally prepared ahead of time, so we're going to kind of go through things live, and you guys are going to come along for the ride. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about like the Hassan getting detained situation just a little bit. Most of you already know about that, so I don't need to get into it too much. Maybe we're going to cover the Fantano video. He made a video talking about Tim Pool, so I thought that'd be kind of a funny thing to cover. And then there was a tweet from this guy, Bizlet7 on Twitter, I wanted to potentially talk about. And then, I don't know if you guys saw, but I'm from Chicago, and in real life, we had a dust storm here yesterday. While there were, like, tornadoes in, like, Tennessee, Missouri, like, just knocking people's places over, which is absolutely insane. So maybe I'll get into that a little bit, and then we'll get into the James Charles stuff. If you didn't see, James Charles right now is in a little bit of a situation. In my prior knowledge of James Charles, James Charles likes to be the victim oftentimes of situations. And James Charles recently right here kind of ripped out a, I don't know, 10 minute TikTok. Yeah, dude, TikTok is YouTube now. People are ripping out 10-minute TikToks. Made a ton of money on that for sure. But the other party that everybody is looking at in this situation is this girl right here, Kayla. And so we're going to get into some of her videos right here. She's been talking about her whole situation with this said partner, and we're going to get into how like James Charles was involved in all of this. I know, kind of a weird situation, but James Charles kind of got caught up in something and isn't admitting to it. So that's kind of, there's a little bit to unpack there. I also saw that as I got home from touching grass, I saw that Adam McIntyre, that's how you say his last name, right? Made a video right here about this James Charles victim. And I suspect that the James Charles victim, I suspect this person is on TikTok. Looks like I'm right. Looks like right here we see this video.
Hello everyone, my name is...
So we're gonna have to get into that. There's we're gonna get into this live and live. I did not pre-watch Piker it, so we're gonna get into that live and live. Let's catch up on parasocial news first. Why don't we? What the hell has been going on in my life? What hasn't been going on? Why am I late to stream? That's what I should address. Yeah, I kind of almost set my damn house on fire. That's why I'm late to stream. So, good reason to be late. I try to stream 9 o'clock Central usually, and I was showing up at 9:20 tonight. 9:25-ish. Because I spilled water into an electrical outlet yesterday, like kind of a lot. And I did some electrical when I moved into my place, So I was like, easy enough. I'll buy a new outlet because it was like smoke that came out of the one. So I got a new outlet. And then I was like, okay, maybe I'll do this real quick before stream. Take me like 5 minutes. Had to shut off my house's power and tried to do an electrical thing. And now the like outlet, when you plug something into it, just says it's open, and that's making me really nervous. I didn't fix it before stream. I like got close to fixing it. I replaced it, but it's not working, and that's making me really nervous. There's that parasocial news. And other parasocial news, I have some stories. Shall we talk? Okay. So, I have some insider news, actually. And I want to show you the video. Let's see. Hasanabi talks at U Chicago. Okay, so Hassan did this video right here. I spoke at the University of Chicago. We're not going to sit here and watch it. I'm just going to give you some insider news. So, outside of U Chicago, they had a big line for this event, and they let as many people that didn't have a ticket in as they could, and then they were like, peace out to the rest of the people. Also, real quick, before I get into this, I do have to point this out. There is a new link down in my bio. Currently, if you want to donate, I will quickly show you what that link is for. Noah Samson is currently doing a stream right here, doing a Palestine fundraiser. Currently, there's like over 100K. This is right here. It goes directly to the Gaza Aid fundraiser. So there's a link down in the bio. If you have the means to donate, that would be much appreciated. Link is down in the description. Okay, back to the other thing. So, anyway. Joe Biden reference, if you didn't catch that. I spoke at the University of Chicago right here. So, back to them letting people in. They let those people in, and then they were like, everyone else go home. I was in the everyone else pile, so I started to go home. All of a sudden, like, you ever just, like, feel something behind you, in like, from a distance, and you're kind of like, I have to look and see what's going on. I felt like a shift in energy. I don't know. I, like, looked behind me. I'm like, and there were people that were going in, and I was like, wait a minute, they just said we can't go in. So I went back in line. There was, like, 5 of us in line. 2 of these people that were in line were, like, I could tell they were haters. The one guy had, like, a full-on, like, Bart Simpson shirt on. He looked very deeply unserious, I'll say, because he had his camera guy filming him, and I was thinking to myself, like, oh god, first of all, they're not supposed to walk into this event with a camera, let alone they weren't even literally supposed to be there. The lady was just kind of nicely sneaking us in. Anyway, that's beside the point. They start interviewing me. Like, they're like, tell us, what do you watch Hassan? What do you think about Hassan? And I was like, look, I will answer what I think about Hassan. I will not answer Israel-Palestine questions, because I know they're trying to clip chimp. I know that's what their mission was. I can just tell. You just know when someone's clip chimping in public. So I was like, nope. And then these motherfuckers get in there, and right when they get in, the lady lets them in. I look at the lady, I'm like, this guy is a hater. I promise you, this guy's a hater. You need to, like, eject him. And she went upstairs, and she was like, oh, well, I'll just let him in, whatever. Okay. We get to this point, like, right here. Literally, I want to say it was, like, right here. Somewhere, let's see.
Existence. I don't talk as, like, a thing that's just, like, Nancy Pelosi is obviously going on in God.
We're here to engage in the earnest. Booyah. It's okay. It's okay.
Right there.
It has nothing to do with Zionism. And
watch this. Listen. Right here.
I feel like the more we educate people.
Man, I gotta speak up, man. I came back from New York. I went to Rutgers, and I made a song about the hostages. Jewish. What do we say at the end of Passover? We say next year in Jerusalem.
Okay.
We're trying to actually engage in some question and answer. Can we? You're skipping all the folks who stayed in line and are patiently trying to ask their question.
Yeah, so you see that? You hear that? Freaking hater. Look, everyone was like, bad faith, got him. Yeah, so that hater, they had to actually grab him after asking that. They literally grabbed him and pulled him out. Like, they had to push him out of the room. And I literally looked over at the lady. I'm like, bro, I tried to save you. I feel like here's the thing. The people that were letting people in were very normie. So when I said that they're a hater, it doesn't register in their brain in the same way that it would for someone else who's like online. Like if someone else is online and they hear hater, they're like, okay, not a good person. But like to a normie, a hater is just like, oh, that's someone with a different opinion. You know, and it's not like someone's going to cause trouble and be a ruckus and be fucking annoying and be a smarmy little asshole, you know? So yeah, that I think once this happened, this person realized what I meant by hater and pulled him out. So that was quite an interesting experience, but I got some photos from the event. Got some photos, mate. Yeah, we took some fucking photos. Yeah, and then I did that, and then in other parasocial news, oh here, this was my seat. Look where I was. Ooh, the camera's not focusing. Okay, well you can kind of see that anyway. In other parasocial news, I had a shoot out in New Jersey. I left New Jersey. I flew to Florida to surprise my mom for Mother's Day. And she had no idea that I was going to Florida, but I went there just for one singular day to surprise her. That was fun. Did that, came back to Illinois, worked, and then here I am on stream. So that's that. There was a freaking dust storm in Chicago last night. I want to show you guys this. I thought this shit was pretty crazy. Look at this. Secret Chicago. Look at this shit. Oh, I think I'm getting ready to hit 7K on Instagram. Getting ready to hit 7K followers. Let's go. All right, look at this. This was Chicago yesterday. I didn't even see it. I don't even live in like Chicago. I'm outside of Chicago. This is literally Chicago. Chicago's first ever dust storm. Bro, that's like some shit that happens in like do you look? You can't see anything. And then there was like tornadoes in Missouri. Yeah, look at this. Like literally wiped out humans. 27 dead. Oh, I got to use my freaking thing here. Paywall, remove paywalls. 27 dead after storms tear across the central U.S. 3 people were trapped in the church of a tornado top. Oh my god, dude. A cell phone help passer and find is trapped inside. Oh my god, a ministry leader was killed. Jesus. Look at this. Look at the damage done. Like this shit. I remember people would always say like you don't want to live in the middle of nowhere, and like it is a privilege for sure because like not everyone has the control to just not live in the middle of nowhere, you know. But like look at this, man. We live in an open field area. This is like kind of shit that will happen. It fucking sucks. It's kind of unavoidable for a lot of people. A 90-year-old mother-in-law pinned to her couch and unable to move after it ripped through. Oh my god, dude. So there was just like a lot of like horrid weather. What is this one? Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on in the world. Global warming, it's fake. It's not a real thing. It's very fake. Just kidding. But yeah, absolutely fucking bonkers. If anyone listening to this, has anyone, family members or anybody that was like involved in this, then I'm sorry and hope they're okay. Hope they've made it out. If anyone also knows anything about this, leave a comment. Let me know. Let me know. 1 second here. Oh my god. I should make a community post. Nobody's here tonight. Let me make a community post. Look. What is this thumbnail?
Everybody, good morning.
What is this thumbnail right here? Look. Wait, there it is. Meredith's in here. What's up, Meredith? How you doing? Appreciate you being here. Thanks for, how are you? Hope you're doing well. I'm gonna make a quick little community post. I am live. I'm gonna go. I am live streaming right now. Hop in. Okay, boom. And then I feel like I am going to make a Twitter post as well. Let's do a Twitter post. James Charles situation. And James Charles situation, Hasanabi in Chicago. And I'm gonna put my link. Give me a sec to get my link. Ay, 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 por Dios. Why can't I get my link? I need me linkies. No, not yet. It almost ended stream on me. What the hell? Alright, hold up. And Palestine. What's going on? Holy shit, Noah looks cooked on stream right now. Okay. Oh no, wrong link. God damn it. I mean, that was the right link for... Oh, because I didn't copy it. That's why. Everything is computer. Alright. Brutal ratio. Okay. So there's that. Blah, 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 blah. We talked about Hassan in real life. Oh, God. Okay, this is the next thing I want to talk about. Did you guys see... I don't even want to listen to it, but did you guys see Kanye West put out a new song? When I saw that he put out a new song, I was like... my brain just was like, immediately was thinking about anti-Semitism. Immediately, and I was right. Look at that. This is the Kanye West new song. I do not want to even click it or hear it. It's so fucking bad. The worst part about it is like, I heard it for a brief moment and it has like a beat to it that if you listen to it more than like twice, it's like an earworm and you're gonna hear that beat in your head and be thinking about the song. I fucking hate that that's the case, but it was done purposely by design for that very reason. It's the same way that I remember that dumbass ay, 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 por Dios, yo voy a votar oh, Donald Trump. It's the same way I remember that. But in this case, it's this god-awful song. So, yeah, that's pretty bad. Should we get into let's do the Fantano. Or here, you know what? We'll take it a step back. Take it a step back real quick. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna do Bizlet 7. This guy, okay. I like how I just typed in the name and this is what comes up. You are singing Vote for Donald Trump. Holy crap. It's bad. I was socializing touching grass before this, like hanging out with friends all day. Got coffee with a friend in the morning. After that, I went over and hung out with friends to see music. I gotta show you guys this. FBI's, what's up, Chris? Discovery of the Black Orb in Nevada where they're 100. What in the fuck? I know nothing about that. If this is like news on the internet over the last 4 hours, I did not see that. This is what I was doing. Chat, look at this. This was my view, okay? And then on the other side of that view was this. Oh, look, here. This is what I was doing. Music and hanging by the water. That's where Dan Saltman, Dan Saltman, ew. Dan Swerdlow were closed. God damn. FBI's discovery of the black... I feel like I'm just going to copy and paste to that real quickly. FBI's discovery of the Blackwater. Okay, I'm going to copy pasta that into the internet right now. We're kind of... What in the... What is... Huh? What is this AI? You're going to have to link me. I don't even know what that is. Did I get... Fuck! God damn it. God damn it. I got fucking duped. You done duped me. You duped me. You did it. I'll take the L. Got him. Got him. I'll take the L.
I'm not gonna lie. I use
No!
it every
No!
time, right? It
Now
helps
I
me
got
get the
duped by
best
an
grades
ad.
possible while-
Hey, Steve. Oh, today?
Come on.
Oh, cause some came in the mail today.
Come on. I thought it was gonna
Got
cut.
me.
There it is. That's me right now. Got him. Destiny. You know what? SE. Yeah, I wish I read. My brain is like off right now. I went to bed at 3:30 a.m. last night. They're both Dan's SE. Yeah, they are. I know. Ay. Yeah, that I feel like, okay, here's the thing. Ethan Klein, I suspect one of two things is gonna happen with him. One, he's just gonna keep going further down that rabbit hole and be stuck there, scare off his employees at some point, Olivia and etc. Everyone else is gonna leave. Or if that doesn't happen, he's gonna like make another video being like, oh my god, I was doing Ozempic and it really like changed my mind and blah 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 blah, like, and somehow end up apologizing in some way, which I don't. That's like 2% chance if that's the case. I really don't think that'll happen, but it's like the Ethan Klein situation is just like a lost. Dude, I'm not even kidding. This is kind of fucked up to say. Another reason why I'm kind of done talking about it, I genuinely think an Ethan Klein fan showed up to my door the other day. I'm not joking you. I'm like dead serious on this. It was frightening. I'll say that much. I'm like convinced. I am convinced that somehow someone doxed me. Somehow. I'm a little scared about it. So that's another reason why I'm not going to talk about it. I'm like, it's so weird. It's so weird. There was just like a dude like dinging my doorbell like 5 times when I wasn't there, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? Oh, this is the first drunk Neanderthal. Yeah, this random person at my door that was the average age of an Ethan Klein fan that looks like someone that probably watches Destiny as well was at my door, and I'm like, yep. Okay. I'm done talking about Ethan Klein. It's just dumbass. Versus drunk Neanderthal. Yeah, so anyway. This video, this is called This Guy's an Idiot. Kind of a funny moment in time when internet's busiest music nerd is talking about Tim Pool. So quite the bizarre crossover. I'm gonna watch it 'cause I think this is gonna be fucking funny about possible. Don't keep it in the VOD. Yeah.
We've got about...
Oh my, I'm on the wrong YouTube channel watching this. I need to go on the right channel and watch this.
Hey everyone.
Okay. So, internet's busiest music nerd. I'm gonna go like this, and then I'm gonna delete. Once Justin reads that, delete your comment, Chris. Okay. Here we go. Now, let's get into This Guy is an Idiot by internet's busiest music nerd. All right, here we go. Thank you.
Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you're doing well. It seems once again we have to come onto this channel and address a right-wing freak pretending to be a fan of music and art, or at least visibly struggling on their shitty YouTube channel and podcast to sort of like rationalize maybe the person they once were, or the heart that maybe they have on some level, not really being copacetic with the psychotic, bigoted views they now have to hold for a job. Of course, I am talking about the one and only Tim Pool, aka Beanie Man. You know, if you've had the displeasure of seeing any amount of content from Tim's YouTube channel, you know that like a lot of other weird right-wing talking heads on...
Is this about him attacking the band against me? I think so. This is like a very particular moment in time. Fantano does not talk about Tim Pool. He's like made like 1 or 2 other videos on him, but if this is a third one, we have to talk about it.
Internet. He makes a lot of money and gets a lot of attention by virtue of...
Hey, internet's busiest music nerd, please clean your mic off, dog. Bro's got dust collecting on his mic arm. What if I just go like this, a whole bunch of dust comes off of mine?
Commenting on with a lot of indignance, a lot of pop culture items that are either nominally or deeply offensive to those with right-wing views because, oh, it's woke or it's blasphemous or whatever. Enter in singer-songwriter Laura Jane Grace of Against Me fame, modern punk rock legend many would claim, who recently did a little performance at a Bernie Sanders rally of like this silly ass acoustic sing-along song about essentially as a trans person feeling fucked by God, which you know, if you have 2 brain cells to rub together, even if you haven't personally experienced what Laura Jane Grace is you know, obviously describing in this song, you sort of like get the concept pretty easily that I am a trans woman. Personally, I feel kind of under fire socially with all of this hate being lobbed towards trans people.
Yeah, except the problem here is that Fantano is talking from like a very normal, level-headed perspective. If you're a psychotic freak and you hear that, you're just gonna go, yeah, brother, that's woke. I'm not gonna listen to that shit. It's like look at this right here.
all this bigotry. A lot of that bigotry tends to kind of skew as being very religious, or at least it's coded as such. Hence the
God don't believe in transgender.
metaphor where she's feeling fucked by God. Now, apparently this performance may have gotten a little viral online in right-wing circles, made some people pissed off. Tim Pool goes on his show and says people are angry and pissed off and raging about things all the time just to have something to talk about on YouTube. So, of course, that's kind of like the lead-in to this whole reason for him talking about Laura Jane Grace in this video here.
A transgender singer is sexually graphic in front of a crowd of people, which...
Tim Pool, oh my god. It's sexually graphic. This sounds like some, like, fucking Ben Shabibo talking point. Tim doesn't get that MAGA will never be punked because it's a corporate answer to their political cult. Yeah.
I presume largely is a...
Oh my god, chat. Quick, oh my god. Can I tell you guys something? You guys, okay, I need answers from everybody in chat real quickly before I get, because before I say this, Chris just reminded me, he said punk. Okay. Can I get a 1 in chat right now if you have at any point in your life heard of All American Rejects and or listened to them? Do we know who they are in chat? Throw up a 1 if you have, 2 if no. Okay. Awesome. I'm glad we're on the same page. Get this. Okay. So remember how I mentioned there was tornadoes in Chicago? Okay. Okay, wait. Remember how I mentioned there was tornadoes? So, my friend over here, oh my god, look at this. Look who is in Chicago. All American Rejects did a backyard show in Chicago. 3 hours before the show, they announced it, and they rolled up in Chicago and played in someone's backyard. I missed this. I missed it. Chat, I don't know where you guys live. Don't tell me in chat. Don't say it. But check your town. Go and check your town. Like, search All American Rejects and, like, look on their Instagram and all that if you want to see this. They're just popping into random towns, and if you get ahead of it enough, you can find a way to get yourself into this. They have a cap, so they're not just like, anybody, one, come all. Like, go see them if you can. Okay? Check your town. Check their socials if you like them. I'm not listening to them regularly, but it was punk rock as fuck. They were playing in the middle of a tornado. So that shit was wild. Yeah, I had to mention that. I forgot to. I meant to bring that up in the parasocial news. Yeah. Go look. Check your town. Get ahead of it. I'm an old man, so I only go to my own gigs or friends of mine if they're on the road. Honestly, I get that, but if you've heard of All American Rejects, this is like, they're not doing this ever again. This is a very one-off thing that happens for like a couple hours randomly one night. If you can get ahead of it, peek your head in for 10 minutes and get out, you won't regret it. You'll be like, I'm so glad I did it. Even if there's like, I don't care if it's like you can tell this to your kids one day or whatever. It's a cool thing. I'm literally, I'm so upset I'm missing this that I'm going to be looking like All American Rejects Wisconsin. I will drive 4 hours to be able to do this again. So fucking cool. I had to talk about that real quickly. I thought that was a really cool thing. So back to this. Tim Pool, as no surprise, is just peddling the anti-trans narrative here, and it's awesome, right? By awesome, I mean fucking stupid, for those that don't understand sarcasm. I know chat understands sarcasm, but sometimes we get people in here that are not sarcasm getters.
adults, but it's a Bernie rally, so there's probably some kids there. Totally inappropriate.
If this were any other Tim Pool segment, and in many ways it is, there really wouldn't be much reason for me to talk about it, except for the fact that I find it hilarious that Tim spends a great deal of this video trying to validate his criticisms and basically provide some weight to his point of view here because he used to be a massive Against Me fan.
Backyard gig is part of. Yeah, backyard gigs are backyard. That's what I was at today. I was at someone's backyard gig that was landed on. It was freaking a dock.
I am an OG fan. OG, of course, for those that don't know, means original gangster.
He even tries to impress the
What is? I don't know what was so funny about that. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Brian, kill me.
Pool segment, and in many ways it is. There really wouldn't be much reason for me to talk about it, except for the fact that I find it hilarious
was it right here?
that Tim spends a great deal of this video trying to validate his criticisms and basically provide some weight to his point of view here because he used to be a massive Against Me fan.
I am an OG fan. OG, of course, for those that don't know, means original gangster.
Tim Pool! What the fuck? What the fuck, Tim Pool? Oh my god. Oh my god. What the fuck?
He even tries to impress the viewers of the video that Tim really knows what he's talking about and knows where
Hey chat, LOL, it means laugh out loud.
he's coming from here because he used to know how to play all the songs on guitar.
You had the classic song, Baby, I'm an Anarchist, for which I can still
Tim Pool sounds more like Ben Shabibo each passing day, I swear to God.
play on the guitar. And then, of course, you had much better songs, in my opinion, like Pints of Guinness Make You Strong.
Like kids know he can bop. Hey kids, guess what? I know how to bop. I can bop my head at shows. Yeah.
In fact, it's kind of funny because as he progressively talks about Laura Jane Grace and this song and like how big of a fan he once was, it seems like the number of Against Me songs he knows how to play on guitar like increases. First it was a bunch of songs, then it was like the Axl Rose songs, and then like, you know, he's listing other tracks too. He just knows the whole damn Against Me catalog.
And they have a song called Tonight We're Gonna Give It 35%. And that is, I can't remember which album it's off of, but I used to play it all the time. I'm pretty sure I can still play. It's only 4 chords anyway.
Hey Tim, play it for us. Play it for us then, Tim. Come on, let's go. I want to see a Tim Pool cover. We should start some TikToks. We should get some TikToks going here. Any chatter that makes a TikTok, we all have to collectively make TikToks until Tim Pool plays the cover of it, okay? My main question is, who are these mutual friends we have? Tim, guys, I want you to know that tonight we're going to give it a 35% about my first marriage falling apart. Not about single label. I wrote the song lyrics about while staying at a Pat from Anti-Flags Apartment B. Pins is about Pines about my grandparents. My grandfather used to own the largest dairy nut. Yes, he was not going to be died of a heart attack. Oh my God.
And it's about signing.
I think yes, 'cause I remember being disappointed as him. As someone who teaches guitar. Oh, I know. I think he does. I think he does. I just think it'd be funny to like hear him do it now because he spends the better part of his time just being an asshole on the internet.
A record deal. What? We're gonna get signed to a major record deal and get $1 million? Let's go! And that's when I was like, hypocrites.
He even goes on to play a lick from an Against Me intro.
I can prove it. Here we go.
Oh! We got it. We've granted our wishes. Our wishes have come true. Thank you, Tim Pool. Thank you. Let's go.
Anybody who knows.
Oh, that was weak sauce. That was weak. Come on, Tim. You can do better than that. Let's hear that again. Let's hear those notes.
Lick from an Against Me intro.
I can prove it. Here we go. Okay. Anybody who knows knows what that song is, you know exactly what song I was playing.
And I just find this very funny because, like, the time period
It's
that Tim
barely a
describes
split.
in this video, as far as like being into Against Me and how their music resonated with him at the time when they were originally hot, with Axl Rose and so on and so forth, I was a big fan of the band at that same time. In fact, like, I saw the band live way back then, and I had all the EPs on vinyl, and liked some of the stuff they did on Fat Records not too long after that. And Tim is just like obsessed in this video with like proving how like hardcore of a fan he was, how deeply ingrained into like
Okay. The reason that Tim is doing this, like, the reason Tim Pool justifies that he's this big fan, that he knows the chords and all this, he uses that as a backbone to justify his own thoughts on this, so that people that are listening are like, oh my god, he does know them, so he must know all the lore, so no matter what he says is correct. And then people are not smart enough to be like, okay, he might have those, like, you can know a lot about them but also have the wrong opinion or just a bad opinion on something. They're not mutual. A bad opinion and knowing the music is not one thing. It's such a fucking cop out. But
Against Me sphere he was. He even goes on to sort of like brag like, oh yeah, you know, like I know people who knew or know Laura Jane Grace. You know, I don't know them personally. I don't got any beef, but like, you know, I know people who know people. And
yeah, you know, I kind of know people that, you know, they know Donald Trump. I, you know, live in Chicago. There's a Trump Tower in Chicago. So, yeah, I can confidently tell you that Donald Trump's actually lying to everybody. So I know everything about Donald Trump.
Tim, like,
That's how Tim
basically
Pool's
says
treating
all of this to build up to his argument that, in his opinion, now he states this as fact, but then he also sort of like backpedals a bit. He's like, oh, I'm just saying, I'm just asking some questions. He goes on to argue that he feels that Laura Jane Grace is essentially just like pretending to be trans or transed herself for money and attention.
Classic.
And was entirely motivated by the fact that, like, Against Me was in a ton of debt and just needed money.
I would say that the honest take here, lead singer of Against Me, was in the gutter. The band was not doing really well. They had massive amounts of debt. They failed. And then I got an idea, trans. And then all of a sudden they saw a big bump.
Now, if you're an actual...
Yes, Tim, that's exactly how it goes. Yes. God damn it. I fucking hate... How are we... God, like, come on. How are we in 2025 and motherfuckers are still here like, yeah, you know, that's how transgender people are. They just one day think, let's be trans. And I know that's what I'm talking about is a little bit different than what he's saying right now, but there's still people. It is like, it's so fucked up. How do people arrive there? It takes like more than like 2 seconds of thinking to be like, okay, these people are transgender. That's all. That's it. That is it. And then they cannot contend with that. They're like, no, they're not. So when you hear people like Tim Pool say shit like this, it's like, well, he must be right if that's how you think. The irony is that when it comes to artists who I used to like that went to MAGA, had me trying to prove that I was never a fan, unlike Tim trying to prove he was an OG. Hey Chris, OG. Let's talk about what that means. For now, woke band. Yeah, I know. It's like it's a double standard. Usually people have to already be fans of music before they're learning about who's in the band. Yeah, exactly. That's basically... Yeah, that's usually because, like, as someone that, like, films bands and works with bands, like, there's bands I've worked with a few times that, like, by the third time I work with them, I finally know who's, like, I know each person, like, by name of who's in the band. There's bands when I go to shows that I still don't know the full name. Like, there's a couple, like, I can tell you the name of every person in Beach Bunny right now. But can I tell you the name of, like, everybody in, like, All American Rejects? No. But I know there's people that can, you know? So it's, like, it's different for everybody. But like Justin's saying, you already, like, you kind of have to be a fan already to start knowing the people. That's basically Tim's argument. It doesn't make sense. Again, to me, is becoming repopular because of the activism. Not because their lead is trans. Yeah, exactly. Saying that the lead is, like, here's the deal. People that are, like, anti-trans are immediately going to use that as, like, a talking point to arrive at the position that people are woke and that that's not actually what they are, and they're just doing that so that they're extra, or that they're, like, that they're something different. They're this little specimen, this little extra different thing in the world that, and honestly, I think these people are mad that they aren't trans. That's the real issue. They're like, fuck, I wish I could be trans. That's the real issue they're trying to contend with. So they're just projecting. I at least sold a guitar to one of my favorite guitar players and didn't realize who it was until I got to the, god damn, that's sick. That's really, I bet you it feels good to sell it to someone like that. You're like, this can get good use. Yeah, I've done that before too, where someone introduces themselves after, and then you're like, oh, okay. And it's like, have you ever had that happen the other way around, where they say who they are, and they're like, by the way, I'm blah, 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 but you actually don't know who it is, and then you, like, look it up later on, and you're like, wait a minute, that's who you were? Like, this happened to me one time where this guy, like, shook my hand, and he was like, I'm da-da-da, and then I was like, okay, cool, and I was, like, in a green room around, like, the mascot and around, like a bunch of, like, popular people, but this said person shook my hand and was like, I'm this. And then this said person who I was working with wrote me a check. I got the check in my mail, and then, like, below it had his title, and it was like, I'm not gonna say his title because it'll immediately give it away, but it was like founder of blah 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 records. And I was like, I'm like, wait a minute, that's who you were? It's like, I wish I knew this. But I'm not, like, the kind of person that just knows everyone's record owner or record company, record deal. Why can't I say that? Record label, there we go. Hello, wake up. Record label's owner, you know?
Against Me fan, you know how bullshit that argument is, because when you dig into the band's back catalog, like tracks as early as Disco Before the Breakdown do very much convey, like, a closeted queer experience point of view of some sort. So, like, that alone would instantly delegitimize any argument that Laura Jane Grace coming out of the closet was, like, entirely fabricated and so on and so forth. But what's hilarious about this is that Tim is apparently such a fan, he's actually aware of this song, references it in his rant, and sort of, like, poo-poos the idea of that by saying this song must just be about either being gay or being about dating someone who's really fat and ugly.
The Disco Before the Breakdown, where you're like, hey, it sounds like this dude's gay. No, I mean, like, literally, because, like, either he's dating someone who's ugly or fat, or he's singing about being gay because it has the lyrics I know they're going to.
God, you know who would agree with this? This is, like, these are, like, straight up Asmongold talking points. I swear to God, this is, like, straight out the Asmongold book. I saw Jello and Dead Kennedy and didn't recognize him. He said, and looks more like Colin Mockery. Whose line is it? Oh my God. That's freaky.
Laugh at us when they see us out together holding hands like this. They wouldn't understand it if we told them all the reasons. Pause.
You can't make this up.
Pause.
The guy is such a mealy-mouthed piece of shit. And look, I'll be honest, it's been a long time since I have, like, really truly loved a new album from Against Me. I haven't really dug much the band has done since, like, Searching for a Former Clarity. And a lot of my reasoning comes down to the band mostly, like, adopting a more mainstream rock sound over the years. The idea that
is it Blink 182? I think I met Blink 182's drummer one time and didn't know it till I went home later that evening. Because one of my friends was like, did you know that was Dada's or Blink 182's drummer? And I was like, huh?
Against Me and Laura Jane Grace are like completely beyond listenability and fandom and respectability at this point, because like they're just the biggest sellouts in rock and punk history is like complete bullshit. Like even the band's most mainstream sounding albums in their catalog don't even come close to sounding like radio rock or even like traditional commercial pop punk for that matter. In fact, I don't even think Laura or Against Me could even make that sort of album if they really wanted to. So the degree to which they can really even sell out on that front, I feel like is not even a reality. You may disagree with that personal assessment that I have. Certainly the opposite is arguable. However, I feel like the last person on the planet who should be making that argument is Tim fucking Pool. Because if Tim is going by the metric that Laura Jane Grace was at one time like a really great underground hardcore singer-songwriter with anarchist leanings, and now she's like no longer fully that, and as a result she's a loser and a cretin and she shouldn't be taken seriously. Okay, if that is true of Laura Jane Grace,
Travis
that
Barker
applies 8, 10, 20 times for Tim fucking Pool, who apparently over here again is sitting here like a stan. I play all the songs on the guitar. Oh. So like how deep into the ideological tank were you for every old school Against Me song? Probably more than even Laura Jane Grace was, and she wrote the fucking tracks. Like in the grander scheme of things, the ideological shift that we're seeing in Laura Jane Grace as a singer and a songwriter.
Tim Pool, okay. It's sad that Anthony Fantano has to break this all down, but video summed up here. Tim Pool has to get better, like, with his commentary, just across the board. He has to, like, work on his, like, anti-trans issues. Tim Pool's got a lot to work on, because, honestly, to go there, you just have to have, like, copium, insane amounts of copium, to be able to justify your excuses. Oh, I was the biggest fan. Like, that's the backbone of his whole argument here. And fucking Fantano has to break this all down. What is this? I want to see what this is. I want to skip ahead.
Actually presenting them to her fans to try to give them some sort of understanding. Meanwhile, Tim Pool over here is
right-wing YouTuber Tim Pool has raised over 1.3 million super chat donations on the platform. Built his name. Wait, I want to see what
a million times more the sellout than Laura Jane Grace could ever be, and he gets to sit there on his shady billionaire funded podcast YouTube channel and pretends like he's not the textbook definition of a political internet grifter.
Ukraine is the enemy.
My own dad knows about this clip. My dad was like, he's like, oh, I heard some like podcaster said Ukraine is the enemy. And was getting paid for it. And it's funny because this hit like mainstream news. I don't know if Tim did this thinking like people, I guess like dumbasses, he's just gonna have more dumbasses that follow him for saying this.
Of this country, Ukraine is...
Okay, I'm gonna say something. I know this has been like debunked 1,000 times over, and this has nothing to do with it. Just straight up, also, I'm saying it. Like, Ukrainian people are like some of the sweetest and nicest people. How embarrassing as it gets. It is. And my comment has nothing to do with like his thing here, but I'm just gonna say it off rip. I'm like, somehow I've like managed to make friends with like a ton of Ukrainian people over the course of the last like few months. I'm gonna tell you, like, none of them that I know, have I ever heard like an argumentative tone out of them, like through my time of being friend. Like, they're very like soft-spoken people, and they're very like calming and like nice. They're like very nice people across, at least the ones that I've met that I'm friends with. I'm not gonna speak for every single person in Ukraine, but the people that I've made friends with, I'm like, I literally have like talked to my other friends about this. I'm like, I've made friends with like the nicest Ukrainian people ever lately. They're just like, they're so sweet. I don't know if it's just like I've got lucky with the people that I've met in Chicago, But it's something that's been on my mind. Again, it has nothing to do with this Tim Pool thing here. But I don't know if you guys have any Ukrainian friends, but they're just, and also their language, is that not the nicest sounding language ever? It's very like, it's like, it sounds so nice. There's some Ukrainian glaze. But this was like, seriously, this was so embarrassing.
Our enemy being funded by the Democrats. I will stress this again. One of the greatest enemies of our nation right now is Ukraine.
But yeah, wow, you really got to give it to Tim Pool for uncovering the Laura Jane Grace billionaire trans woman grift. Because as we all know, all rock singers, all punk.
Yeah, being trans is not a grift like Tim Pool thinks it is. 100%. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of like Ukraine signs in people's front yard lately too. But yeah, Tim Pool's, it's not a grift. Being trans is not a grift. There's that video summed up. Next subject. I should get a next subject sound. Next subject? Imagine that's my sound. Let's look at this Bizlet. Let's look at this Bizlet guy, shall we? So, here it is. I want to see what this is all about right here. What is this whole thing? I saw it on my feed, and I was like, what the fuck? 5 years on Tinder, swiped right 2 million times, and got 1 date. It's time to Thailand, Max, bro. Chatters, do you see what's wrong with this profile? Your dad was a home renovation contractor, so was mine. My dad is a home inspector now. Chat, do we see what's wrong with this? Everyone's just like lose weight and get jacked. I'm not sure most are capable of the modern environment without drugs. Like telling a poor person that's racked up 5-figure debt, just make more money. Should we even talk about this, chat? I saw this on my feed and I thought it was going to be like, I don't know, I thought it was going to be a lot more riveting than this. But I'm looking at this and he's just talking about people like fat shaming him. He's talking about, or should we move on to the James Charles stuff? One of us should stay on this. He's fishing. One of us should stay on this, two move on. What do we want? Oh, God. I woke up and I was, like, dying laughing at this, which is why I put it on my items to talk about. This guy is this guy, one, keep talking about it. This guy is an idiot. He put zero effort into his weight problem. Vast majority of girls don't care about fishing. Okay. Based. Multiple. Yeah, based. Multiple lake pics screams one-dimensional. Usually marking yourself lack of absolute failure. Oh my God. Okay. Chat or anyone listening to this, Hassan has said it. I will repeat it because I've thought this myself prior to Hassan saying it, but Hassan's put it in the best way possible. Any guy can be a 7, okay? Your weight does not dictate if you can, like, be with a woman or not. The right woman will find you, okay? But you also need to work on yourself. You need to be a good, cool, normal person. And when you're on a dating app, it's a little bit different, right? Like, this guy without a dating app could, assuming this guy is normal, assuming he's, got good, I don't know, maybe good politics, good ways of treating women, good ways of treating not even just women, but treating people in general, and can think logically and normal. I don't know. You get what I'm trying to say. Can be normal, right? If he can be that, then someone might actually see him for who he is in person. But man, hey man, maybe don't put your profile picture as you fishing. Isn't that like the instant no? Also, I don't really see too much wrong with this picture right here. This, I guess the only thing I see, like when I talk to women about this, a lot of women are like, in your first picture, put like a full body picture. Like they want to see you doing something fun, right? And like maybe have someone take a picture of you. That's what a lot of women I talk to will say. Don't put like a selfie or like a mirror picture for your first picture. So maybe that's where he's going wrong with this picture. But I don't see any comments that are saying girls don't like fish pictures. Okay, number one, get in shape. Okay, getting in shape is extra. Like, yes, you can get in shape and work on yourself, and that might add a little. You might go from like a 7 to a 9 or like a 7 to an 8 doing that. That is like an extra perk. It's like you're fishing for girls. Yeah, that could also be the irony. Oh my God, someone dug up his profile. Bro just cannot stop posting with this sweatshirt. Ass on my face. Hey, yo, what's up with this? Ass on my face. Bro is still holding pictures. Hey, man, you don't need to make every picture about you fishing. Like how this girl found him. This is why he and fish have the same expect. This is why I like having you in chat, Justin. That's funny. Oh my God. Yeah, you like, okay. Even like here, I'll show you guys. Should I go try to show you guys my pictures? Do I have to open up my friggin' Hinge here and show you guys my photos? I have Dev Lemons in my photos. I will show you my photos. I feel like my photos are like a good, like, I have like good photos, okay? My first one is like me at work, okay? Black and white photo, pretty much a full body picture, me at work, like with my camera, all right? Someone took the photo. The next photo that I have, look at this. It's a group photo. It's like me and my friends. Like, they look at that, they're like, cool, he's got a lot of friends. He's not like a person that just sits in his house and does nothing, right? Like, it looks like I'm up to something. Then, right here, I put like a funny photo. It's me and Dev Lemons. You guys know who Dev Lemons is? The YouTuber? There's me and Dev Lemons. And she's making a funny face. Gabby Bell, if you guys know who Gabby Bell is, took this photo of me and Dev. Funny moment. I was talking to Dev and then took a photo and that was it. Then the next one I put like a close-up, okay? Like a close-up photo that was taken in a studio of me, smiling, okay? And then these last two are just like whatever, like sports. Like I play golf and I skate. Okay, don't hate on me for playing golf. Please don't hate on me. But there's me playing golf, and there's me skating. I feel like those are good pictures to have, right? Like, there's things I do. I have friends, funny. There's me at my job enjoying myself. What other photos could I put that represent? I don't have any other photos that can beat that. But just simply have someone take photos of you. I know it sounds weird. But, like, when you're out, have someone just, hey, can you take a photo of me? I don't think that person's going to say no. Like, make sure they don't have, like, a shitty droid or they're not using their webcam to take a photo of you. Take this photo on, like, it could be, like, a phone photo. Like, Nice lighting, make it look nice. They can clearly see you. The thing that's always bad is like, here's one thing I see. Like, this is one thing I like used to get kind of like duped by it in the past. But like, okay. And it's like, it's not the best thing to do. Like, if you're a girl and you see this photo, but like, let's say you don't see this one, but you swipe on this and you're talking to this fella, and you're someone that maybe doesn't want someone who is like, by you know, there's like a little heavy, I should say. Maybe that's not your preference, but you show up and because you saw this picture and you didn't see like a whole body picture, and now you've been duped. That's also not, like, this is not me to you. This is like women I've talked to have said this. Like, I've been in that position where I've had a photo that looked like this, and they're like, don't do that. Like, they want to see like you know, where people are judgmental. Let's be real. Like, people are judgmental. They want to see how you look, right? I'm not saying like I'm not saying this guy's like overweight. Again, everyone can be a 7. This guy can still probably, if he's normal, get a nice girl that he can meet. It's not that hard. It is like, I think we're extra picky in today's like using dating apps. We're like a little extra picky because when you meet someone in real life, you don't get access to their favorite song. You don't get access to what they're doing when they're not at home. You don't get access to the fact that he fishes. Like, a normal girl might meet this guy in person, and he's not going to, like, walk up to a girl in real life with a fish in his hand. Hey, what's up? Look at me. I got a fish in my hand. Just in real life. Also, too, I'm starting to realize this more. It's really not that hard just to, like, walk up to somebody and say hi. Like, I did that today, and I was at this show. I, like, saw someone, and I was like, I think I've seen her in real life before. So I walked up to her, and I was like, hey, what's up? I think we've crossed paths before. And even if you haven't crossed paths with this person, you can just say something, like, funny or say something goofy. Or, like, if something's happening at a show you're at, you can make a little joke, even if the person's standing next to you. Like, if they have, like, body language is everything. If you can see them sitting there with their arms crossed and they're kind of head down, like, they probably don't want to talk. But if they're, like, just chilling, hanging, smile on their face, say something, you know? Not that hard. I think this guy should just get off of apps. I don't think this guy should spend fucking 5 years, swipe 2 million times. Yeah, one date. Sag. I was, Justin and or Meredith, are you either of you on dating apps? I think Chris, you said you have a partner, so I'm not asking you. Yeah, I was about to say it used to be a dating app for people trying to meet people to go. Like the criteria used to be not dangerous, serial killer, scammer. I think the thing that helps people desperate to date most is that you can just try to make friends that are putting a bunch of intentions on things. Yeah, exactly. Like, I agree with that. I think it's, like, easier just to, like, build friendships with people, and then maybe you, like, get closer with this said person, and then you, like, hang out 4 and 5 times, and you're like, wait a minute, I kind of like this person. Then at which point you can kind of be like, hey, I have a confession to make, or whatever, right? And that person, what's the worst that can happen? And that person says no, then what? Are you going to die? You're going to be put in prison? No, you're not. So, say it. Just say it. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? You're not going to die, okay? Yeah, it's like... And then another thing, too, it's like extra layer difficult for women on apps in particular, because, like, women are going to have their, like, by design, have their, like, you know, they're going to be a little bit more closed off than we are as a guy. Like, us as a guy, you try OkCupid once you're under 20 pounds, easier to meet people at shows. Yeah. Like, I've never even had OkCupid. I thought OkCupid was like a chat bot that you talk to. I just learned, like, 4 years ago that it was a dating app, and I was like, what? It kind of gave the same energy that like Ask Jeeves does. And I thought it was like another version of Ask Jeeves. That's literally what I thought. Like I thought you would search something and hit OK Cupid. It's like I don't know. Like I've been on a ton of dates. That's why I'm talking about this. Like a lot. Like more than you guys would think. Have things worked out for me? No, but have things got like close to working out? Sure, but you know, everyone has like a different reason. Like I've been told, like this is one I've got like 4 or 5 times now. You're not tall enough, which sometimes I'm like, okay, maybe that is true. Other times, like I've talked to other women about it, and they'll be like, oh, so how tall was she? And I'll be like, oh, she's the same height, and they're like, okay, that's a cop out. I'm like, or like the other thing that happens is like, because it's apps, you wouldn't otherwise meet in person. So you have this like weird boundary of like a girl that sees this guy fishing, right? Like, is there a girl that likes fishing too? Yeah, but I feel like this fishing, looking at this, it's like this guy took 2 photos in the same spot. One's a selfie, another one, no, but he's like in the same spot. He's like fishing. Fishing consumes his life. I feel like you want to have like showing yourself doing something different, because like when you meet in person, I also meet you mostly at gigs. I do the online date sporadically, a lot less now than I've relocated to a conservative state. Oh no. Yeah, I swiped on Hinge in Florida for a little bit when I was out there, and oh boy, was that a bad idea. These people are like, ay, por Dios, yo voy a votar a Donald Trump, you know? Or they're like in their bio, and it's like, their politics are like other. Or it's like moderate. I'm like, oh, okay, dude. But when you meet on apps, you have this like weird area where it's like, you wouldn't have met at the gig. So this said person does this set of things, you do this set of things, and you're like, wait, where's our like thing in common? Then like you start to talk, you can like communicate with one another, but then you're kind of like, where's like our intersection? Like at what point are we going to do this thing with our group of friends or whatever? And it's weird. Like I have this one friend that like only doesn't go on dating apps. He just meets in person. He's very much the kind of person that just like walks up to people and is like, what's up? And I respect that. I think that's cool. I want to do that more. But anytime he's like has a partner or whatever, I always see like him and said partner are like one of the times it was like someone I vaguely knew. So I was like, wait a minute, I've seen you somewhere, you know? And it was kind of like that, whereas like other people that he hangs out with knows this person too. So it was kind of like an all-encompass thing. And that's how like people like our parents, do you think our parents or like step parents or whatever your parental situation is, do you think if, assuming your parents are together, or even if they were together at one point, they didn't meet on apps? They just didn't. So it is possible. It is possible to meet in person. But like, god damn, bro. The whole reason I'm talking about this is because 5 years on Tinder, swipe right 2 million times. Brother, 2 million. Like, another problem with swiping 2 million, I'll say this. Like, if you swipe enough, you will start to convince yourself, like, as a guy, like, if you have enough empathy. I guess on the empathetic side of things, you can eventually be like, okay, what am I doing wrong? But I don't think this guy is like, what am I doing wrong here? This guy is like, he's like, the women hate me. It's the women's fault. They hate me. It's like, dude, I think you should change your picture. Just change your picture, please. Like, do something about it. But this guy is not looking within. He's like, I have fishing pictures and women don't like me. It's very strange. I don't drink anymore. It's often awkward. People think I must be an alcoholic. It's like, nah, I prefer. Okay, I think we bond over that, Justin, because I don't drink. I've never had a sip of alcohol ever in my life. I'm almost 30. I'll be 30 in August. And, like, I've had that situation before. Like, I was on one recently where she was like, yeah, it'd be nice to enjoy a drink with my partner. I was like, okay, that is your choice, and that's okay. I'm not gonna blame you for it. Like, most people drink, but there's a lot more like non-alcoholic options at places now. But even that doesn't, like, it's just more money to have a drink that is dropped out of all. It's like, I just kind of want water, honestly. I want maybe lemonade. That's it. I don't want anything else. I just want water. That's why I'm drinking a lot of water right here. And it's a weird thing because, like, people do use that as, like, a tactic to be like, water's kind of, or they're like, well, alcohol is kind of like a thing that we want, or that I want in a partner. And it's like, okay. Yeah, and I think more and more people are starting to, like, not drink alcohol. Like, I was in, Toronto non-alcoholic store. Toronto, Canada. This was the place I was at right here. Bevies. One of my friends took me here when I was in Toronto. And look at all these non-alcoholic drinks they have. That's all this place is. I tried this one right here. I was like, okay, I try, because like she's very like she's very much like on the side of like, I'm done drinking alcohol permanently. So I was like, you must have gone here and tried the thing. And she gets the wines. She comes here and gets these like non-alcoholic wines. I think it's like one of these. But I didn't really like it. I tried this one too right here. I didn't really like it. But you know, not my cup of tea exactly. I like the good old OG water. I like these comments on Twitter are a little bit absurd over this. Like, some of these aren't though. I know it's not feasible, but what is this? First mistake spending 5 years on Tinder. I know it's not always feasible, but you should always probably travel somewhere. Eastern. Okay. So, speaking of traveling somewhere, I have done that. I travel for work. I've gone on dates in New York. I've gone on dates in Michigan. I've gone on dates in Wisconsin. I have traveled from Illinois to Wisconsin to go on dates. I've gone on double dates with people. Like, I've tried everything. Most of the time, like, you can work on yourself, and you do need to work on yourself, like, mentally. Physically is like an extra bonus, right? Like, if someone's like, you're talking to someone, they're like, yeah, I'm going to the gym. And it's like, cool. You're working on yourself. But not everyone is like that kind of person that's like, oh, you must go to the gym. Like, you know, you can maybe that can be a thing. You and your partner eventually, you're like, maybe we should go to the gym together. And that could be a fun thing for you guys. It's not everyone operates like that. I had a gig taking photos for a venue. I made friends with a coworker who's a Burning Angel suicide girl. She gets paid more to ensure the show has hot girls like hang out and be bought drinks. Oh my God. I know of something like that in Chicago. I just saw an event like that. And I feel weird about it. I feel really weird about it because the like hot girls thing, it's like you get to, in very broad daylight, see what someone else like deems as hot girls. So then the next time you're like out of that situation, and then you're like, God damn, I feel bad for the people that don't look like this. You know what I mean? And it kind of makes like those people feel like shit, but they didn't actually see the event, so they won't feel like shit. But if they did, you'd know they'd feel like shit. It kind of like puts a label. It's like hot girls, not hot girls. But like that's also something that's like subject to everybody's opinion, right? Like, what I think is hot might not be what Justin thinks is hot, right? So it's kind of like, I should put my chat over here. I keep looking over here. I should just put my chat, like, I guess it's fine. You know, we get sweaty dudes. Gotta find yourself a lady that likes sweaty women. Or sweaty men, I mean. If your woman likes other sweaty women, you know she's the one. It's time to Thailand. I think also another thing, I don't know how other people operate, but I've explored this before, where you set your Hinge thing to like another country, and then you like I got in the trenches a long time ago, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna set my thing to like, I literally think I did Ukraine, and I actually met like a handful of like Ukrainian women on there who I became friends with through Instagram, and we follow each other and we chat, and they're like very nice people. And I've like explored the idea of like someone being overseas and long distance, but then I got kind of sad about it. I was like, nah, that would kind of suck. You wouldn't see this person very often. But there's, that's just me. Everyone has their ways. What is this? Huh? Shirt, jacket make you... Or this. Jesus Christ. Man with fish can. Women love seeing a man that can catch a big fish. I mean, it's just easier to work for than doing porn for Burning Angels or nude modeling for Suicide Girls. If the band doesn't show up, they set up a stripper pole and she fills the slot. Jesus. Oh, easier to work for her than doing porn. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I've never been hit on more aggressively than when you were in Cambodia. Yeah, that's another thing. That's another, like, when I had my things set to Ukraine, I was getting matches like this. Like, it was like 1, 2, 3. Like, I looked at my Hinge thing, and it was like 4 of them, like, in an hour. And I was like, and it's interesting because when I was out in Barcelona, I had my camera, and I must have had like 10 people walk up to me in a matter of 5 minutes and be like, oh my God, you got a camera? Like, no way. Like, what do you do? Tell me about your job. Like, what's going on? And like, the attitude around like me holding a camera was different than me holding a camera in Chicago. Like, I feel like the attitude shifts when you're not in America. Like, I feel like we're so primed into this American, we've been given everything. We're so like, we're also shy. That's another thing. We're afraid of rejection. We're afraid of going up to someone and someone saying no. I am. I know other people are. We're like, I don't know. I don't know if it's like the internet. I don't know what's like caused that, right? I'm trying to break it. I'm slowly working on breaking that by going on walks in the morning and like when I see people saying hi to anybody and everybody. Just being like, hey, what's up? It's not that hard. It's not that hard. And I feel like that will help me. And it kind of did, right? Because like I said today, I just walked up to someone. I was like, hey, what's up? I think I've seen you before. And like, what's the person? The person's not going to kill you. They're not going to murder you. They're just going to say, I'm not interested. Or like, I don't know. Maybe they are interested in talking to you. Also, can I say this? Okay, this is another thing. I feel like chat knows this. But for anyone that's not in chat, watching the VOD, or maybe if I make this video, here's some other advice. When you talk to people, especially when you're meeting someone like right off the bat, I saw this happen today with somebody that was like clearly trying to meet people, and I was like cringing on behalf of this person. Like, would walk up to someone he just met and then be telling them like a really long personal story of like something that was funny with him and his friends. And I was like sitting there, I'm like, can this story end? Also, the person you're talking to does not care about what was funny with you and your friends. They don't care. Like, be normal. Like, I get it. You're just trying to start conversation, but there's better ways to do that, right? Like, if you're at a show, maybe ask this person about what others, like, artists they listen to. Maybe ask them how they ended up getting to the show tonight. Or, like, ask them, like, maybe, like, ask them what they're doing after the show. I don't know. Like, don't make it be your first thing. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can just talk about the moment. You don't have to be, like, telling them this random... My allergies are getting really bad. You don't have to tell them this, like, weird-ass story. They don't care. Especially for a long story. They don't care, I promise. Our state administration thinks the solution is banning the gay and Doctrinate the Bible. Yeah. I know. Our administration is absolutely cooked. Our administration detained Hassan Piker. They said, Hassan Piker? And they asked him questions. Hassan made the rounds on the news with that. But that's for another topic. Should we bounce over to James Charles? Am I free June 13th? Let me see. Let me check. Let me see if I'm free June 13th. Yes, I am. Still on stream. But anyway, let's move on to James Charles. James Charles time. Let's see what Twitter's saying about James Charles first. Shall we? Look at the situation in the roughest light. This is awesome. James Charles will always be a fucking loser. He knew Kayla longer than her abusive ex and knew abuse happened and provided his side of the story. Oh my god. Kayla gagged it. Let's look at what Kayla had to say. TikTok. Let's look at what Kayla had.
Dating anymore.
Oh my god, I was just talking about this.
And no, it's not because people are lazy, shallow, or afraid of commitment. It's because we're all trying to build love in a system that was never designed to hold it.
That's funny. Kayla Malik. Let's look at these Kayla videos. Let's take a look at this James. Hey yo, huh? What just happened? Bad loading. All right. Oh my god. She won the case. Holy moly, chat. I don't know if we'll get through this tonight. Maybe we will. Holy mackerel. Alright, I know what we're going to have to do here. Kayla Malik situation. Here we go. Oh my god, dude. This is hitting like normie news. Look at this. Kayla Malik receives outpouring support after announcing result of domestic assault case. Popular influencer has been open about her abusive relationship with her ex-boyfriend, receiving outpouring support online after he helped pleaded guilty in court. Kayla Malik has 16.6 million followers on TikTok and almost 1.8 million subscribers on YouTube. Detailed abuse allegations against Evan Johnson in April, uploading a series of emotional raw videos about their 9-month relationship. The videos of which times include pictures of videos of injury she sustained from Johnson, generating sympathetic from her reaction from her followers who praised her for her vulnerability. Malik's story became the latest saga to captivate people online, and some of her followers began to spread misinformation and condemn another creator they said to be associated with Johnson. Johnson was charged by officials in Tennessee. Domestic assault April 7th. Okay, she says, I'm really happy right now. Okay, so this is where this picks up. So, right here she said, I won. Oh, not the music. No, why Kanye West? Not Kanye West. Okay, so there's her saying she won.
And just like that, justice was served. Justice was served. I'm like really happy right now. I'm gonna probably start sobbing, but I'll tell you all the details. But I won.
So you're gonna say to yourself, well, how is James Charles involved in this? James Charles isn't. I just realized my chill music is still going. You guys like the music? One, if I should keep the music. 2, get rid of it. What do we think? Keep the background music going? I'm looking at you, chat. I'm watching chat. Maybe chat's in an ad. Maybe chat got smacked with an ad. I think chat got smacked with an ad. Okay. It's all good. I have to crank the volume to hear the background music. Okay, cool. Okay, it's nice and chill for you guys. I'll keep it. All right. So you're gonna say, how does this have to do with James Charles? Well, I think James Charles' story right now. I think James Charles was like doing some like favors for this person that she won the case against. So we're gonna have to get into that.
Fucker's in jail right now. Fucker got arrested in front of me. I was the last face he fucking saw. I feel like I'm gonna cry. I've never shaken so much in my life. I was the last face that fucker saw.
Good.
I'm gonna start sobbing. And just like that, justice was served.
Dude, that shit's fucking crazy.
So as we all know by now, he's been arrested. The court case happened, and nothing feels real still. I'm gonna cry. But yeah, everything worked out, and I'm fucking crying. Yeah, it all, yeah. As you can tell, I still haven't really processed it, but a lot happened. This was basically like yesterday. A lot happened basically yesterday at the court case. So I'm just gonna give you all the rundown, the sentencing, the charges, everything.
And just like that,
what just happened? What? God, I hate desktop TikTok so much.
So as a year and a half, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, he deserves a lot more time. Trust me, I know. But the max sentence.
He got a year and a half. All right, what's the max sentence?
That you can get in the state of Tennessee, I'm pretty sure, for domestic assault. It's a misdemeanor A.
God, look at her arm, dude.
The max sentence for that is a
Oh my God, look at her arm.
year. On top of that, he had probation violation and a DUI.
Okay, I should probably, God damn it. I'm realizing this. Sorry, I am realizing. I should probably say trigger warning as I'm watching these. I should have mentioned that earlier. Forgot the situation was very graphic. So we're 133 in the stream, 134. So I guess trigger warning here on out. If you are sensitive to subjects around abuse or whatever it is, tread with caution then. I'll let you make the decision about this. If you want to watch, I apologize in advance. It is sensitive subject.
So max he could face, like max for all of those charges, was 5 years. And if we took it to trial and fought for it, could have gotten 5 years. But a year and a half is him serving the full sentence for me plus some time. So I was like, fuck it. Yeah, so yeah, he pled guilty and they sentenced him to a year and a half. So they tell him that he's going into custody, and he walks to the side where they go into that room, and for a split moment we locked eye contact, and I smiled at him, and he put his head down and then was taken into the back room into custody, and then got booked at 5:55. And he's now going to be in jail for the next year and a half. Yeah. So that's basically what happened. And for everybody talking about the attempted charges.
Dude. Holy shit, man. God damn, I'm so glad she won that. God damn, I am like, I don't know, starting to wonder if I can even make it through this. This is like, it's like really like emotionally taxing stuff here.
So I'm sitting here thinking about how fucking full circle life is, and like how much shit can just happen in a year. And I'm just like sitting here thinking, and I want to tell y'all this story just about how like fucking crazy this is. Like it's been the only thing on my mind. I saw somebody comment about it, like so fucking weird. So I met him almost exactly a year ago from today. Like almost exactly. I met him on Memorial Weekend. So like a year ago from the month exactly. And when I met him, he was on probation for some dumb shit like drinking. I don't know. He was on probation though.
Okay. Jesus Christ. I want to hear what she has to say about this.
And he had broken violation right around.
Have you guys heard about this? Hey, Chris or Justin, have you guys heard about this situation? Or am I like rehashing old videos to you guys? Because these videos are like 6 days ago. This is like kind of a recent video right here. You know about it? First time? This has been like smeared all over TikTok. I know nothing about any of the parties involved. Okay, so there's new info. I'm pretty new to this as well. I was like scrolling on my FYP on TikTok like 2 or 3 times this week total. And every single time her videos kept coming out. I'm like, okay, what is happening here? This is why I've opened this to see what's up. Oh my god, not desktop TikTok screwing me over again. So let's go back over to
So I'm
this.
sitting here thinking upstairs and went into courtroom 4D consequences were fucking weird. So I met him almost exactly a year ago from today. Like almost exactly. I met him on Memorial Weekend. So like a year ago from the month exactly. And when I met him, he was on probation for some dumb shit like drinking. I don't know. He was on probation though. And he had broken violation right around the time that I met him. And so he had a court date to see what his consequences were for violating probation. And right around his court date is when I met him, and I was in Nashville, and he invited me to go to his court date with him. And I'd only known him for like a week at this point, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go. And so almost a year ago from today, we woke up at 6 in the morning. We got in his car.
Too much of a boomer. I feel like I'm turning into a boomer as I near 30. I used to scroll on TikTok like ungodly amount of hours. I miss shit. That's why this says 6 days ago. Like I literally am seeing this right now for the first time. TikTok is, I mean, shit. I guess this helped her too.
I got ready at his house, put on my court outfit, and we drove to the courthouse to get there at 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Walked into the court doors, went through security, went upstairs, and went into courtroom 4D, I'm pretty sure it was. Sat down, and I was sitting next to him, waited for them to call his name up. The judge called his name, listened to the judge sentence him to 22 days, and watched him get placed in custody for a violation of probation for 22 days. Now, almost exactly a year later, I woke up at 6 a.m. in my own Airbnb with my family, put on my court outfit, got to the courthouse at 9 a.m. with my family, went through security, went upstairs, went into courtroom 4D, the same courtroom, sat down, this time not next to him, but next to my family, on the opposite side. And I'm pretty sure it was the same judge. I'm almost 100% sure. It was the same judge. Waited for them to call his name, and instead of being sad, I was smiling when they put him in custody. And I don't know, it's just so fucking crazy that in a
Dog, that seriously. Oh my god, dude, this poor girl. Holy shit. Can you imagine that? Like just telling, having that be your story? That's fucking bonkers. I don't even know what else to say to this. Like, I don't need, this does not require additional commentary. Here's my opinion on what she should have done. Like, this doesn't require that. This is just what it is. That's crazy. Her timeline's wild. What a cycle. Yeah. Okay, so there's that. And then let's see what's up. What's this? Just like I'm leaving. Oh, she left Nashville. Let's fucking go. Nice. All right. She's making good moves. Spoke out today. I feel bad for Evan Johnson because he's not getting enough hate. Just doing a little glamour moment. Okay.
So it was supposed to be a 10-minute quick clock it video. It ended up being 30 minutes. It ended up being 30 fucking minutes. Oh my fuck.
You can put 30-minute videos on TikTok now? Is TikTok YouTube?
Well, I'm sure by now everybody knows.
Bro. Oh, this was a 30-minute video right here we're about to watch. It's not.
Well,
Let's
I'm sure
see.
by now everybody knows about the situation with me and James.
Oh boy, here we go. Here's the James Charles situation. Let's hear this. This is where it's gonna get. It's already spicy. It's already fucking insane, but oh boy. Here we go. James Charles.
So basically, obviously, I don't expect him to ask me.
Oh wait, what is happening? God, desktop TikTok sucks.
Well, I'm sure by now everybody knows about the situation with me and James. And everybody has told their side of the story except me, and in my opinion, I was the one fucked over. So it's only fair for me to tell my side of the story, how I was fucked over. And I wanted to wait a little bit, have a little bit more time to just like relish in the fact that I won in court. But the response video was posted an hour after I announced that I won my court case. 1 hour. So I have like all of my bullet points written down next to me, and I hope I could do this all in one part, but everybody told their side, and like I said, in my opinion, I was the one fucked over here. So to start off, I would not...
I'm ready for a good hearty James Charles roast. You guys ready for this? Let's do it.
Consider me and James to be best friends at all. I don't even think I'd consider us close friends. We've collabed a few times. I went over to his house, what was that, like 9 months ago to help him promote his company on live stream. We would text here and there about certain things, but it was definitely not like we were best friends. I like trying to put this into
Oh boy. Oh no. If you give James Charles, if there's anything I've learned about James Charles in my time on the internet, if you give James Charles one inkling of attention, even if anything, James Charles is a fucking weirdo, first off, but if you give James Charles one little bite of attention, you're now in James Charles' book, James Charles' best friend. So this is only going to get worse. Oh God. She did the ultimate crime of messaging James Charles twice. That's me making a joke. That's not me blaming her. That's a fucking joke because James Charles is a fucking weirdo.
Like, it's kind of like that one person that's in your class at school that you're, like, mutuals with. Y'all are, like, acquaintances. Like, we were acquaintances. But I don't think that excuses anything that happens, in my opinion, but that's the best way to describe it. We definitely were not best friends. We were not that close, but we were acquaintances. We were not best friends in any way. But this all starts almost immediately when I made me and Evan's relationship public on TikTok. So I had posted a video with Evan next to me, and me and James have never DM'd on TikTok. The only previous messages we had on TikTok was us collab posting from when we would film together when I started my Glow Up series, like I was just talking about. And he like sends me my video. I don't know how you do it. Like, he sent me the video, and then under it he said, "Girl, who is this?" And I was like, "Oh, this new guy that I met. I think I'm in love. Ha 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 ha." Then a month and a half later, he slides up on another video of...
Why does James Charles give a fuck who it is? That's weird. I mean, he felt comfortable beating her and thinking he'd get away with it. So yeah, his ducks aren't all in order. Yeah, what a fucking dumbass. Even if you're like that dumb to be like, "Oh, I'm gonna get away with it," like, hey man, how about you don't do that? just don't do that. Just be normal.
Me and Evan together. We have not DM'd on TikTok since this. And it's a video of us dancing together at Yosemite, and James sides up and says, "Girl, he's so hot." And I'm just like, haha, yeah, whatever, cool. So at that point, that's like the only time that we would text was about him saying how hot Evan was. Which
even that is cringeworthy, right? Like, what are you doing, James? What are you doing?
Just like, whatever. I didn't care. I didn't think anything of it. Whatever. So fast forward to October, and me, Evan, Emma, and Brennan all get invited to a birthday party. We get there, and lo and behold, James is there. And Evan and James have not met at this point, obviously. The only thing that's been said is how hot James thinks Evan is, which is like, fine, whatever. So I see James, I say hi to him, and I introduce them to each other. And they're just talking for a fat minute. I don't know what really they were talking about. I wasn't really in the conversation. I was talking to Lila. I was talking to my other friends. I wasn't really in the conversation. And I don't know how accurate this is. I was not listening to the conversation, But Evan did tell me after that James was just saying how Evan was the hottest guy at the bar and he was the hottest guy there.
Yeah, like a possessive mindset where he's just jealous and slighted another man's standing behind his quote-unquote property. Yeah.
I don't know how true that is. I don't know. But that's what I was told James was saying, is just how hot he was. And once again, I brush it off. Haha, funny, whatever. Like, whatever. Like, I don't care, you know? So then, 2 months after that, I get another DM from James. On December 17th, I had posted a video of us at Hawaii together. And James, once again, our only DMs is him once again being like, oh my God, he's so beautiful. So literally the only DMs we have in the past year is him saying how hot my boyfriend is. Cool, whatever. Just like, what the, like looking at this shit now, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's weird.
It's not funny. I'm just like, what the fuck? So yeah, like at this point, the only things I've heard is how hot he thinks my boyfriend is. Cool, whatever. So now from December, it's January. And me, Brennan, Emma, and my boyfriend are in Hawaii. And this was the trip that we ended up breaking up and all of that shit happened. It's about the third night that we're there. And I don't know if I'm allowed to include this. I'm going to anyways. But we're all sitting on the balcony of our Airbnb talking. And Evan starts saying that James is DMing him on Instagram. And immediately I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you DMing James? Like, immediately I'm just like, fuck no. Like, you're not gonna do that. That's weird in my opinion. And at this point, our relationship.
No. Oh my God. So is James gonna peddle this one to be like, that's how James has to defend it. It's like defend himself. Be like, nah. What? Oh God, I'm so curious because James has a whole response. We have to get to that response. I think we were at it, or was it? Oh, never mind. It was the other video, but we'll get to that in a second. Oh no, where is this gonna go? Where is this gonna? I'm nervous at this point. It's either psychotic, jealous, or sitting room. This is dangerous. This is dangerous.
Relationship was basically already over, and even Brennan was like, and Emma were like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you DMing him on Instagram? So we look over at the phone and Evan sends James a picture on Instagram. So like, you know how you snap on Snapchat, like doing that on Instagram, like sending pictures back and forth. And Evan is like, you should go to Hawaii with us. And James sends back this saying like, why should I come to Hawaii? And that for the first time is when I was like, what?
Ew, James Charles coming to... Ew, James Charlie had... Oh. Ew, yuck.
And I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure they continued to text throughout the night. I was not like caring enough to go through his phone. I was just like, why are you messaging him? And I just, red flags. It was just so fucking weird. Because mind you, at this point, me and James don't text. Like, me and James aren't even texting like that. James is only texting me to say how hot he is. And now he's sending him snaps over Instagram saying, why should I come to Hawaii? Like, that's fucking weird. I would only do that if I'm, like, trying to
Dude, James Charles is freaking always engaging in DMs with freaking minors and with fucking other people's partners. Fucking weird, dude.
Or if I'm trying to flirt, you know? Like, it was just weird. So I don't know if they texted anymore throughout the night. I have no idea. I do know that all of their texts are over Instagram. So fast forward, literally 2 weeks past this, me and Evan have broken up. And literally the day after we break up, James texts me. And he basically is asking me and Evan to be a part of this painted commercial video. And it was supposed to be like me and Evan, and it was like a couple thing, and it was for Valentine's Day. So I respond, and I'm like, hey, I'm sorry, but we just broke up, ha ha ha. So I text James that we...
You said, how old is James Charles? 25 years old.
We have broken up, and basically the first thing he says in response is, can I have him now? Just responds, can I have him now?
Yikes. Ew. Chat. Oh my god. Oh my god. Can you imagine if like one of your friends broke up with their partner and then you're just like texting your acquaintance or friend being like, can I have them now? Ugh. Yuck.
And then was like, ha ha ha, just kidding. What happened? I then proceed to tell him that, let me actually like read the text like word for word.
He said haha JK. That's not a haha. James was being very serious.
I'm gonna green screen this part, everything else I'm inserting in, but I want to read this like word for word. So yeah, do you want to be in a painted video with your man? I explained that we broke up. I was gonna do a 30-part series. And mind you, he is the only person that I told, because this is a day after we officially broke up, he is the only person I told about a quote 30-part series that I was gonna film about what I had went through. He goes, what? I go, girl, he's fucking crazy. And then there we go. What happened? Can I have him now? Once again, didn't really think much of it.
There was some girlfriend swapping my friend group that come in a fist fight at one of our buddies' weddings. Oh my god. Even that whole like, I know what you mean when you say girlfriend swapping. I've seen that with other friend groups I have in the past. And it gives me an ick. I'm like, do you guys not find this strange? Like, I've literally watched, like, one girl be, like, 3 different guys' girlfriends. This girl, funny enough, I just went to her funeral, actually. It has nothing to do with that situation. I, like, just went to her funeral, too. That was another thing I did when I wasn't on stream. Go to her funeral. Yeah, but that is my own look into that situation. Girlfriend swapping is a little strange for me.
But my senses were a little bit heightened now after the whole Hawaii Instagram DMing situation, but whatever. Then tell him, imagine the worst things a human can do. It would take hours to text, but you'll see this series soon. He then asks again about if I'm actually doing a series, which I'll explain why that has a lot to do with more going on. But he asks again about the series, then says, I'm sorry. And I go, oh, just wait. I gave this man a platform based off his lies and abuse. I'm gonna wait to heal from it and then clock it, which I did do. And then he goes, shit, I'm sorry, Kayla. And I said, you're good. Thank you.
Thank you, sister.
That was the last time we
texted
sisters. Until he flew Evan out to California. But in these, I made it pretty clear that Evan had fucked me over. I brought up abuse, the worst thing a human can do. I mean,
yep. Pretty black and white.
Obviously did not go into depth with what I had went through. At this point, like James said in his video, my friends didn't even know, my family didn't even know the full story. Nobody knew the full story. And obviously, I don't expect him to sit there and ask, you know, oh, well, what happened? I don't expect him to do that. I get feeling uncomfortable in that situation. But I made it crystal fucking...
Wait, what is this comment right here? James flew him out? What? You can lie to us. Oh, for the trip. Okay. They didn't do anything together. It was because Evan didn't want to, not because James didn't want to. That's clear.
Clear that I was fucked over in a pretty big way. And holy fucking shit, I do not want to have to make a part 2. But
oh boy. So both. I think we have to find that out. It's what it's sounding like. That much I've gathered. It's what it's sounding like.
So basically, obviously, I don't expect him to ask me, oh, well, what happened? And I don't expect him to want to know the full story. I get being uncomfortable doing that.
Wait a minute, chat. How long is this? 9 minutes. Was this the video we just watched?
Everybody knows.
This was part 1, part 2.
So basically, obviously, I don't expect him to ask me, oh, well, what happened? And I don't expect him to want to know the full story. I get being uncomfortable doing that, but I 100% think that in these messages, I made it crystal fucking clear that what he put me through was not okay, it was not normal, and it was an abusive relationship. I just think I made that clear. And no, we were not best friends. No, I wouldn't even consider us close, but we were acquaintances, and he knew me more than he knew Evan. He met Evan through me. I've known James. Like, at the end of the day, he knows me more than he knows Evan. So it's like, with that information, with what I told you, it should have been, okay, I understand, and move on. There should not be a second part to this. It should have ended right there. And then none of this shit would have happened. There wouldn't be a drama. There wouldn't be a fucking, like, this wouldn't be a fucking drama if it ended where it should have. And in my opinion, if you have good morals, it would have ended there. I know people in my life that I have, like, am acquaintances with, and they would not do that to me, and I would not do that to them. I would not do this to people that I've even collabed with once. I wouldn't do that to somebody. So in my opinion,
these comments, James Ranks, he got away with it. Photo. James, strange straight man ever. Photo.
It should have fucking ended there. And there should have, so basically, obviously.
Dude, desktop TikTok is the
obviously
worst.
It's an abusive relationship. This was the day before I officially made it no contact and realized it should have fucking ended there. And there should have been no communication between him and Evan past that point. But obviously that didn't happen. So a week after I send those text messages, me and Evan are broken up, obviously, but we were not on no communication yet. And so this was, literally, the day before I go live and say that I was in an abusive relationship. This was the day before I officially made it no contact and realized, holy shit, what, like, I wake up, basically. So me and Evan have our final call. And this is when Evan says to me, if you tell people what I did to you, that means you never loved me. That's when he said all of that on the phone. It was our last ever conversation. But in the beginning of that phone call, while we're
that's the
talking,
most abusive sounding thing.
He brings up me making a 30-part series. And I immediately am like, how the fuck do you know that? And he quote said a 30-part series. The only fucking person that I texted about making a 30-part series was James. James was the only person I told.
Ew,
I'm just gonna end this here.
God, dude, desktop TikTok, I swear to God.
It was not made public. I do not think I would have ever found out. I don't think I ever would have received a "I felt guilty for weeks" text. I don't think I would have gotten that at all. I do not think I would have gotten an apology or situation. Do I sound bitter, or like, do I have a, you know what I'm saying? Or do I sound delusional? Am I just like salty? Ew, that was so cringy to say. Or, like, genuinely, do I just sound bitter in this situation? Do I sound bitter, or like, do I have a fucking point? I do not think that if I did not find out through TikTok and if this shit was not made public, I do not think I would have ever found out. I don't think I ever would have received a "I felt guilty."
That's so cringe. James Charles just chatting with her. You guys want to see what, I kind of want to see what James Charles' response is at this point.
For weeks text. I don't think I would have gotten that at all.
Hear her
I
out,
do not
though.
think I would have gotten an apology, or he would have owned up to it and texted me about it if it had not been made public. And I think there's proof to that because he kept it a secret literally up until he went public with it. And then also, it does leave a bad taste in my mouth that, listen, I get it. If your name's being slandered and you want to clock that shit, fucking clock it. I get it.
Wait, so it's sounding like James Charles' video is going to be like evidence of this to reiterate her point. But he's going to try to defend himself as if he didn't do this. So it has to be like the most awkward video that James Charles is going to make. What is the good situation of this? There's no possible way that James Charles can come up with a good video that people are going to be like, yeah, sister. Like, no one's going to do that. There might be like, it might be like the same thing as like it's like the Die Hard fans, right? That like no matter what this creator does, they're going to be like, yeah, go off. This is weird. This is weird shit.
But to do it an hour after I win the court case is fucking crazy, in my opinion. An hour, 1 hour after I announced that I win the court case, here's a 10-minute video, and all my comments are now flooded with, did you see James's new video? You couldn't even wait till the fucking 8th? Like, that's crazy to me. And I get it. You wanted to clear the air. I get that. But to not even wait 3 hours? Not even an hour and a half? What the fuck? I mean, at that point, damn. Sorry. I'm just like, I'm crashed out. Like, it has been so hard to sit here and not say fucking shit.
Dude, it sounds like someone needs to turn James Charles in. I saw a guy at the gas station look exactly like Adam Sandler if he was in a wheelchair.
When all of this is going on, and then seeing the apology video, I don't know. I just have a lot of thoughts, and I don't think this is like a pick side.
I feel like we have to get over to the apology video. James Charles made advances. Before we do that, let's before we get to the apology video, let's look at this real fast. Hang on.
And if you don't know me, maybe this will help you. Before I get into the story, I want to say I am not meaning to hurt anyone's career or damage anyone's reputation. I just keep seeing things pop up on my page. And
this might be a react.
It triggers me in a way, you know. But back when I was 14, you know, I wanted to do social media my whole life. It's something I really loved and enjoyed doing. I started blowing up. I maybe created my account 7 months prior before I turned 14 years old. I ended up blowing up, maybe around 700,000 followers on TikTok. Everything was doing good. I loved it. It was just amazing. James Charles commented under my post and liked the video, and it was exciting. You know, that's the biggest creator I've ever been in contact with or ever commented or liked my post, you know. Anyways, he ends up following me and he messages me, hey, I obviously respond. I'm excited, but that's where everything went downhill. It got really, really weird. Anyways,
I don't think anyone has ever had a good experience with James Charles via DMs or shit, maybe even in person.
We start going back and forth on TikTok. He initiates after a few days. Hey, add me on Snap.
Oh no! Add me on Snap when this dude was 14. Ew! Yikes! Yeah, James Charles is a fucking pedo. All right, let's look at this. This is gonna be an awesome. God damn it! Christ's sake! For the first time, dude. Oh my god, dude. This is gonna be bad. This is gonna be really bad, chat. Oh god. Oh god. This is gonna be so bad.
I do not support Evan Johnson in any way, shape, or form. Let me make that fucking
sure. Okay, dude. Sure, dude. Can I have him now?
Violence against women, and I sure as hell do not support the disgusting, deplorable, violent, heinous acts that he committed against Kayla Malik behind closed doors. I really fucking hope and pray that when this goes to court this week, Kayla gets justice for what that man put her through. At the same time, the
Copium.
videos that I'm currently seeing all over my For You page are disturbing to me. This is not TikTok tea and drama for everyone else's entertainment. This is real people dealing with some really serious shit. The conversation has completely shifted focus away from Kayla Malik and how she was brave enough to speak out about what she went through to how James Charles involved, the downfall, Bye Sister 2.0, where's the apology video? It's distracting from the actual issue at hand, which is domestic violence. I have not spoken out about this for a couple of different reasons. The main one being, this is going to court this week. Anything I or anybody else says online can and probably will be used by either Evan's defense attorney or the judge to affect the outcome of its ruling. And I didn't want to put Kayla at any risk for that. I hate that I'm getting online and filming this video right now, but I truthfully have no other choice because I've also spent the last several weeks trying to get in contact with the only person involved in this that actually matters and needs to hear the truth, and that's Kayla Malik. And she has been unwilling to have a conversation with me. And frankly, I don't fucking blame her.
I wonder why. You don't blame her because why?
Watch the laughable interview between Be Better and Zach Sellers, I wouldn't want to have a conversation with me either if I was being fed complete bullshit lies and misinformation from the person whose only source of information is the same man that lied to and abused me for 9 months straight. At this point, I have no choice other than to get online, tell my story, and then prove my story to be true in a court of law. I am suing Zach Sellers and anybody else that thinks it's funny or entertaining to get online and spread defamatory and slanderous lies.
Wait. Pause. I thought. Wait a minute. James went to jail. Or Evan went to jail. Evan's the one that went to jail. But Zach Sellers, hang on. What's this Zach Sellers video? What is this? What?
With the James Charles situation going on, a name that keeps getting brought up is Zach Sellers. Now, me and Zach Sellers have interacted before when I was a minor and he was a full-grown adult lying about his age. Now, at the time of these, I was only 14 years old. Another one. And now this one is when I was still 14, and with proof and a timestamp that I found that he was lying about his age. Not only would he do that, he would ask for pictures constantly and send unsolicited pictures of himself. Now this is 1 year later after he would non-stop call and text me. I'm only making this so people stop giving him attention and interacting with him and supporting him for whatever reason. He's a disgusting person who deserves nothing.
You know, Zach Sellers going after James Charles kind of makes a lot more sense now. Tell me he was not projecting going after James Charles. Tell me James Charles was not his mirror of what the fuck should he been doing behind closed doors. Messaging minors, sending unsolicited pictures of himself.
This comment right here. This is what it feels like. Evan and Zach teamed to prolong Kayla's trauma and rub salt in the wound. She's not going to be able to heal because they keep growing the situation. Yeah, and these people saying projection.
Posing as a minor himself. Gross. So fucking disgusting. Anyone who gets involved with minors, especially in an intimate kind of way, you deserve to be castrated.
Yep. God damn. Let's go back to this, James.
Misinformation, completely bullshit, made up stories for the sake of views, likes, engagement, and galaxies. I'm done. This all started at the beginning of 2025 when I reached out to Kayla about her and Evan being in a Valentine's Day video together. She told me she couldn't. She was crashing out because they had just broken up because he was crazy. I tried to lighten the mood a little bit and make a lighthearted joke asking, could I have him now?
Oh my god, why its desktop TikTok sucks so much. Hold on.
And abuse, and whenever she was healed, she was going to get online and
Bro, you said, can I have him now?
Expose him. I'm going to be so honest. I did not take this conversation very seriously. And obviously, now knowing what we all do, I fucking should have. Reading it back now, it is super clear that she was using humor to cope, and that is perfectly fine and valid. But at the time, I genuinely interpreted these messages as a messy breakup. Maybe he cheated, maybe they got into a drunken argument that ended badly. I could have never imagined what she was actually going through behind the scenes.
James, wasn't James texting this partner? James was straight as a bag of fruit roll-ups. James was texting this partner, though.
A lot of Kayla's own friends and family.
Also, chat, I'll be honest for a second. I feel like I might have to finish this another day. I literally, my brain, I just, sitting there. And I heard myself say yeah to stuff, twice now. And I just, was looking at the screen. And I was, not seeing anything. And I'm like, what the fuck? I feel like we're going to have to finish this. It's, getting late. My brain the switch is off. The lights are out in my head. But you guys mind if we finish this another day? This is a big situation here. I didn't think it would be this intense. Tomorrow. I might be on tomorrow. Tomorrow, Monday. Then stream. Tomorrow I'll probably be on. Monday I'll probably be on. If I'm not on tomorrow, I'll make a video. I'll at least post a video, but maybe I'll do both. Who knows? Wake up, see what's good. Yeah. Alrighty. I need to sleep. I'm sure it's late for you guys. You guys need your sleep as well. I've been sleeping at boomer hours lately. It's 11:30 here. I've turned into a boomer. Alrighty. You guys cool with that? Let's do it. Let's do it tomorrow. A la mañana. Yeah, I got confused which way the love triangle was going. This is how I think it's going. James Charles in the corner. The girl's up here. She should be with that guy, but she's that guy fucked up, abused her. So James Charles is still over here being like, let me have him. And then James Charles is also like, no, that wasn't me. I wasn't talking to this partner. It's a weird one. It's really fucked up. James Charles is like, let me have this abusive partner. We'll chop it up tomorrow. Justin, Chris, Meredith, thank you all for hanging. We'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow, probably. Tomorrow, 9 p.m. Central Time for more internet news and drama for anyone else that is in this VOD. Alrighty? I have to go clip out 26 to 28 minutes. So, love you guys. Thanks as always. Means a lot. And I will catch you tomorrow, 9 p.m. Central. Go see something nice. Go do something nice for someone. Alright? Peace.